I don't like that. What I am about to reveal to you is a special find. My friend drove outside of town to pick this up so we could save it. And it has been sitting here waiting to be revealed. What we have here is a pristine floor model Electrohome TV from 1984. Believe it or not, Electrohome was a Canadian company originally discovered in 1907. From 1984 to 1999, Electrohome was produced under the Mitsubishi company, which is interesting to me because this TV was manufactured in 1984, so this may very well be one of the last TVs actually produced by Electrohome before being produced by Mitsubishi. Pretty much after 2007 or so, Electrohome was just sort of a brand that's getting thrown around on different products. So that's just what happens with a lot of these companies. It started off as an independent brand name that was Canadian made and doing very well, making their own electronics. And then eventually they just can't compete with bigger companies, Sony, Panasonic, then you got LG, and you got Samsung. This is just kind of how things go these days. If you can't survive, then your brand just gets bought out by somebody else. Anyways, without further ado, let's proceed to see if we can breathe some life back into this old floor model. Doesn't this just say grandma's furniture to you? The 80s called, they want their TV back. Some really interesting information. There's an invoice tag here. I believe that there is a possibility that my boss actually serviced this TV at one point. So, Electrohome, this is a model 63 CB11. And manufactured December of 1984. Chassis number MA3. It's a C-72RN. We are going to hook up this Hitachi VCR made in China. So, once again, probably just rebranded by some other manufacturer. Sadly, we have determined that we've got no video and no sound, even though the TV seems to power on. It shows indication of power, and the display will tell you what channel you're on. No video, no sound, no raster on the screen, so looks like we gotta open it up. Well, I don't know about you, but this thing is looking pretty gnarly. I honestly was not expecting it to look that dirty. So, first things first, we are going to discharge the picture tube with the pricky high voltage tool again. Even though I suspect there's probably no high voltage by the sounds of it. Maybe there is. Maybe there ain't. Let's find out. Ooh. No, there was no high voltage. And that anode cap is pretty gnarly too. Holding shape! It's holding shape! Oh god! This is... It's what happens to rubber after a million years, you know? It just turns back into tar. I do have my suspicions. My suspicions suggest the crispiness of these capacitors. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, look at that. This picture tube is manufactured by Mitsubishi. Yeah. So this is the point when Mitsubishi was making all the parts for these TVs. You can always tell when they've had a little too much heat when the insulation around them has drawn back from the top of the capacitor. I'm sure that one is probably not a happy value. Well, let's pull it out. Let's remove the neck board here. Neck board removed. We have a ground. This is for the ground strap. And this is tied to the yoke wire. Oh god, this is getting dirty already. Oh man, this makes me wish I had... You know what, I need to buy some gloves for doing this stuff. I was not expecting it to be this nasty. Yoke wire is over here. I've got this looks like it might be another ground wire here. This connector over here. There's a single brown wire here, connector. This is a 4-pin. This is a 5-pin. There's another rainbow one over here. This is for the audio, I believe. That's for the speaker, because this looks like audio output down here. Way in the back here, there's your degaussing coil. Freed from the coffin. Look at that. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you thought of serviceability, because, well, new companies don't seem to think about that these days. This is pretty good. Oh yes, the anode cap. Oh no. Ah, jeez, the sticky anode cap. Well, the cheapers. The stickiness of this leads me to believe that it will be one of the replacement parts I'm gonna put in this. Like, look at that. Oh no. No. I'm gonna have to replace that. We'll deal with that later. Oh no. Anyways, I'll see y'all at the bench. Look, Mitsubishi. Due to my current time constraints, I'm probably going to I'm going to pull a couple of these caps and test them. I'm just curious to see how far gone they are. My current time constraints basically force me to come back and do this maybe on Sunday. Thing I'm noticing right away, this fuse here looks blown. There's another fuse here. Don't know what it's for. There's a relay here. The relay is what we're hearing turn on. It looks like there is a transformer here as well, which operates probably the controls, which means if this fuse is blown, we're looking at some substantial troubleshooting. I don't like that. Yeah, I'd say there's definitely some major problems going on here. One of these will be the horizontal output. That's probably this one here. This one is probably for the power supply, switch mode power supply. Oh, jeez. This is where you just look at something and say, oh god, what have I got myself into? Well, it was free, so, you know, no losses here. Cabinet's in great condition. Worst case, I could probably find another chassis. That is just disgusting. Let's pull a couple caps and test them and see what the results are. I was never really a big fan of these U-Bright branded capacitors. I just always had suspicions that they were not very high quality. This is a 10 microfarad at 250, so that's part of the high voltage section. Also, these little testers here, they're very useful. You can get these on AliExpress for about, you know, 20 bucks. Very helpful. That is a 236 nanofarad according to this. I just say that that capacitor is, I won't even go any further. Just seeing that, yeah, we are looking at least the whole high voltage section here. These are gonna all have to be pulled. Most of them will probably have to be replaced. I'm seeing cracks in this high voltage block on it. The flyback looks like it's just absolutely shot. So one more thing we'll do. Let's pull this this horizontal driver, 2SD870. It's looking like they soldered this darn thing in, so base or emitter, open circuit, collector to the other pin. When I go base to emitter, we've got a dead short. So I really don't know what's going on with that. That sounds to me like that horizontal output is cooked. That regulator there seems to be okay. Let's check the fuses. This one's good. It's a short, and this one's open. Look at that. How milky that is looking in there. That's an open fuse. So we've got some major problems going on here. Well, I was not anticipating on this being a two-part series, but it looks like it's going to turn into that because this has become a lot more involved, and like this is what you deal with when you pick this stuff up. Like all those things I just told you are, you know, replaceable. Flyback transformer, you do a bit of hunting, probably can find one. There's probably one here. Conveniently for me. For anybody else, nightmare. But bad picture tube, it's game over. There's worst case. This is a really nice cabinet, so something else might go in it. I feel ashamed to scrap an Electrohome. You know, it's all about support your Canadian products. With, you know, I won't even get into political stuff. No. In the next episode, I'm going to test the tube. We're going to see if we can find a flyback transformer, horizontal output transistor. We're going to go through and replace all the caps that are bad. And if the tube's good, we're going to put it all back together. And hopefully it'll work, right? Right? I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. And don't forget the handyman secret weapon, duct tape. Oh, WD-40 Am I just hearing voices, or is it that weird Canadian show where they do handyman stuff that is questionable? Nah, no, I'm just, it's just voices in my head, right? There's no way. No way, right? right?
Mitosis, it's not osmosis. It ain't no bed of roses. It's halitosis. Eyes will water, friends will fall. Halitosis is worse than having no breath at all.